Welcome in, everybody. I'm glad to see everybody make it today. Today, we will be going over one of the most anticipated options on the new iOS operating system that will be being released, called stagemanager. A few things to go over first. The iPadOS 16 operating system is rumored that it will be delayed until October. Normally, it's released with the iPhone software updates in September, but as of right now, it is rumored by Apple that it will be delayed until October's Apple event. So, what is stagemanager? Well, stagemanager is a new way to multitask and get things done with ease. You can resize windows to look the way you want, and for the first time on an iPad, see multiple overlapping windows in a single view. However, I must say, let me get to the right screen here. That unfortunately, this feature is not available on all iPads. stagemanager is limited to the 5th generation 2021 iPad 12.9-inch iPad Pro, the 3rd generation 2021 11-inch iPad Pro, and the 5th generation 2022 iPad Air. All three of those iPads have the M1 chip in it, and the M1 chip is required for stagemanager. All previous iPads have an A series chip, and they do not support stagemanager. And Siri activated on my iPad. We don't want that. So we're gonna before we switch to the actual demonstration, okay? We're going to cover stagemanager as well as connecting it to an external display. In order to connect your iPad to an external display, and this goes for any iPad, not just the M1s, you do need an adapter that can go from either Lightning or USB-C, depending on your iPad, to either VGA or, in my case, I am doing it to HDMI because I'm going to be doing it to my TV. So both of these go from USB-C to HDMI. So those are going to be required. One of those adapters is going to be required. So let's go ahead and go onto the iPad. So we're going to start off with the on the iPad. We're going to start off with the build number for this. By the way, this is the public beta version 4, which is based on the developer beta profile of iOS beta 6. So the build number is 20A5349B. The letter B at the end of the build number does signify that we are getting close to a final release. So we're going to go ahead. So before we go into full stagemanager, I do want you to know that you can still do regular multitasking that you can previously do on the iPad. In other words, you could bring up. Oops, we didn't want to do that. We held it too long. I apologize. Why is this not working? We in stage? Oh, that's why, because we're in stagemanager already. My apologies. Okay, so I've taken it out of stagemanager for now to show you this. Apparently, I still can't do this. Why? Let me try one thing. It may be because I'm actually in a I'm in do not disturb mode, so not let me do this. Okay, let's find out why. Oh, okay. You know what? We're just gonna do it the other way. So, regular split screen mode, you open your app, okay? You can click the three dots on the top, and you could go to split view, and then we can pick another, say another app, and then we have two windows opened of the same app, or you could pick a different app. So let's go ahead and bring up my taskbar. We'll bring up our file system. So that's your traditional multitasking on the iPad. You have your split view. We also have slide overview. Let's see. We'll bring up maps. It's giving me a splash screen because that's just the way it wants. Okay, so map is in slide overview now. So we can slide that out. Add in split view. Another one. So we got our two websites open, and we have a slide over. So you can have basically three windows open on an iPad at one time and interact with them. So that is your normal multitasking. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and close all those out. And we're going to activate Stage Manager. So to activate Stage Manager, you need to swipe down. And this icon down here that's got a square with three dots, you click on that, that activates Stage Manager. So now, with Stage Manager, you would open an app, and you notice it didn't take up the full screen this time. All right? And we can resize it by dragging it to predetermined sizes. So you can't fully resize it to whatever size you actually want. It is predetermined sizes. But let's say we needed two websites open. You could drag another one on here, resize that one. And now we have two websites open. If we wanted to, we could go ahead and drag another app. And let's say, I want to bring my photos. What else can we? Trying to find an app that we can do. I will bring the weather. So now we got 4 screens on at once. We can select different screens, and all 4 windows are operating at once. Now, if we were to bring in a 5th window, it's going to take one of the windows and put it off to this side here, which is called, which I'm calling the shelf, the desk shelf. So we can click that. We have the weather by itself, and then it grouped all these apps together. So that's basically the Stage Manager of having multiple windows open at one time. Now, I'm going to close some of these windows, and the best way I've noticed to close them is normally people will go into your app manager and close them. I find with Stage Manager, at least in these betas, that it's better to, let me call one up, to click the 3 dots at the top and then hit close, because otherwise sometimes they don't fully close. So now we're going to go into true multitasking by using an external display. So I'm going to show you this quickly. I will be displaying it to my TV. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you down for a second again. And I'm going to plug in one of these adapters into an HDMI port. And then I'm going to go ahead and plug it into my iPad. Then you're going to see on the TV that it extended my iPad, it extended the iPad display to my TV. So what I'm going to show, I'm going to keep this on the, actually I'm going to switch to the TV version so I don't have to keep holding this. So hold on, let me, okay, so now we're looking at what my TV is showing. If I was to go on the iPad, let me go back to the iPad so you can see what I'm, okay, and what am I looking? Okay. Oh, I know what I'm looking for. Stage manager. Oh, okay. So let me go to the settings. I was trying to figure out where this is. But if I go to display, all right, you're going to see the built-in Retina display, because this is the M1 iPad 12.9-inch iPad Pro. And then you're going to see that it's connected here to a TV. All right. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, okay. So let me go back to that. You would go to arrangement. And normally when you connect an iPad to an external display, this is what you get. You get the exact copy of the iPad, and you get the two black bars on the side. It's basically mirroring your iPad. But with the M1 iPads, sorry, I moved it. With the M1 iPads, if we go back into settings, display and brightness, arrangements, and turn off mirror display, hit set, then we'll exit the settings. If we go back to the TV, you see that it's no longer mirrored. It takes up the full screen of the monitor, or in this case, my TV, and it's basically a second screen for your iPad. So what we're going to do here is bring up both at the same time. So over here is my iPad on the bottom left. And I got to lower my TV here. Okay, hopefully. And then on the top right over here is the TV part of the screen. So let's go back to the iPad. Let's say we wanted to call up a web browser here. Oh, and I'm sorry, that opened it full screen because we did not put on Stage Manager. So let's put on Stage Manager. And because I did it while it was connected, it kind of did not like that. Okay, so now we're on Stage Manager. Okay. So now if we call up a website, we have the window we can resize. We could do one of two things. We can come over to our external display and call up another website on this one, which apparently took it off of the main iPad. So let's call up another one here. Okay, so now we got two web browsers. We click the three dots, we can move one to the iPad. All right, so apparently this isn't working very well because it's switching them both to the iPad. That's fine. So the iPad, we have a web browser. On the external display, let's load the Files app. Now we have the Files app on our external display. So, and let's see, we'll call up the maps as well. Okay. So we have our maps. Let's shrink our maps. And let's put our map in with it didn't seem to like that for some reason. Okay. Why is this not liking it? Unfortunately, this is beta, so they don't always work the way this should. Maybe it's because the map is too... See if we can do it with this one. Nope. We should be able to have multiple windows open on the TV as well, and for some reason it's not letting me do that. There we go. All right, it was just too big. All right, so now we have a web browser and apparently two web browsers. Okay, let's see if we can shrink this one down and call in our Files menu, which is not letting us call in the Files menu. See if we can do it this way. There we go. All right, so now we have three windows open here. And see if we can move this down and move this down. So we got three windows open there. Trying to go over my notes as well. One thing to note, when you are doing the external view on an iPad, all audio will go to the monitor. If the monitor or TV doesn't have speakers, you will not hear sound. If that's the case, the only way you'll be able to get sound is if you use a set of Bluetooth earphones as well at the same time. Otherwise, the sound is going to go through, in this case, my TV, or if you have a monitor with built-in speakers, it will go through that. The sound will not go directly through the iPad speakers when you've got an external display connected. Let's see, I'll cover that part in a second. Okay. The reason I did it to my TV is because I wanted you guys to know that you do not need a USB-C or Thunderbolt display to do this. You can do this, again, like I said in the beginning, you can do it if you have the proper adapter to a VGA monitor or even a TV with just an HDMI cable and the correct dongle. Apple loves its dongle, so you pay a good price for them, but this one I got on Amazon. And it wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $60, $70. I've had it for a while. Oh, that's a good point to do. All right, so it will only play one audio source at a time. So let me go ahead and close this file app. And I'm going to switch to the TV version. So let's say let's increase these window sizes a little bit. And we'll increase this one. So we got two websites open right now. So if I was to go ahead and go onto YouTube, And let's say we wanted to watch Rope Drop. Okay. We would have audio. Let's see if I do have audio. Let me raise my TV volume. Maybe.
I'm very sorry.
There we go.
Very sorry to hear that, but
all right, so you see I have audio. Now, if I load up another YouTube, and let's see, let me find one that's on. No, I don't. Somebody else was on earlier, but I don't see them on now. So let me see if I can do this.
So if we didn't,
All right, I'll just go to anybody's. Now, so now if I'm playing this one, it's going to stop playing the first one. It will only play one audio source at a time. So that is important to remember. You cannot play multiple audio sources when using stagemanager. Let's make sure. So we kind of briefly covered moving applications over, but let's go back to here. So if we want to move this web browser to the iPad, we're going to, again, click the three dots up here, click move to iPad. And now it's going to be on the iPad. If we wanted to move a window from here, we would click the three dots and then hit move to display. And it's going to move it back to the TV. All right. So another cool feature of iPadOS 16, let me close that out. Let me start a brand new note here. Okay. So I have a new note here on the TV, on the external display. All right. And I'm going to call up photos on my iPad. And let's see. Let me find a decent photo. I just uploaded a lot of. Oh wait, here we go. Go on some. All right, so we got a lovely photo of one of our members that love to watch us, Ian B. He's a great supporter of the channel. So, but let's say we wanted to take Ian B's picture, but we don't want the background. We just want Ian, right? So we're gonna go ahead with our mouse, click and hold, and then we can drag it over to our note, and it automatically removes the background for us and puts the picture in our note or whatever app we're using at the time. So that's another new feature of iOS 16. Funny, Ian. I'm just going over my notes, make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, so another another thing about using the external display. I'm going to back up my phone here so you can see my whole iPad. If you go into what's called clamshell mode, which basically means closing the lid of your iPad, right? I'm going to take off. So I'm sorry about the unsteadiness. I'm going to close my iPad. It does turn off your display. It will not work when your iPad is closed. So let's reopen my iPad. Back in. Okay. So, if anybody has any questions, let me know. I'm going to close my notes section there. We covered about the audio, only one audio source. Okay. So, with having both the iPad and then the external display, you could technically run 8 applications at one time. Which is, if you multitask, is great. I wish you could do more than one audio at a time, because I know a lot of streamers that are on at the same time, and it would be great to have 8 streams going on my iPad at once. But unfortunately, it does not allow that. Let's see. So that's basically stagemanager in a nutshell. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. If you're watching the stream after it finishes, go ahead and ask your question in the comments below. But it's just basically a newer way to multitask. But again, Apple is limiting this to only iPads with the M1 chip. So if you missed it at the beginning, the only iPads that have the M1 chip, again, are the 5th generation 2021 12.9-inch iPad Pro, the 3rd generation 2021 11-inch iPad Pro, and the 5th generation 2022 iPad Air. I just thought of something else I wanted to show you guys, and now I can't think of it because I was talking about that. Oh, that's what I wanted to show you. Okay. And one of my suggestions, let me actually go full screen here. One of my suggestions for you, for anybody that's going to be multitasking like this, is see, this last icon on the right is called my app library. Get out of my photos, so you don't all want to stare at Ian. All right, so this last icon here is my app library, and I'm going to tell you why I put that there in a second. But I'm going to go ahead. I believe it's, see if I can remember where I put this. Okay. Quick tip for anybody that's looking for something in the settings and don't know where it is. Go to the top of your settings page and you get a search bar. Apparently my keyboard. Why? Why is my keyboard? Which is weird because it's lit up. All right, so I'm going to take the display off. Do it this. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So if we go, okay, home screen and multitasking. Okay. So let's find that. So we've got home screen and multitasking. And you want to hit show app library in dock. Make sure that is on. The reason that you want that on is because when you're in either regular multitasking or even in the stage manager, you have to drag the app onto the screen. So if your app is hidden in one of these folders or whatever, it may be harder for you to find the apps that you want to drag on. But if you go into your app library, you can easily find all your apps and drag one on. So let's say we wanted one from this category. You could easily just drag it out and put it on. So, but other than that, if anybody has any questions, please ask while I'm here. If not, if you think of your question later, make sure you leave a comment with your question. I will respond to your question. If you'd like to see more tutorial videos on the iPad, I can certainly do that. I use my iPad quite extensively and would love to help anybody else I can that, if they have any questions on how to use their technology. I'd like to thank everyone who did come in today, especially Costa Mom, Ian, Gator Ghost, Andrea. Thank you all for stopping in. I hope that somebody found this useful. And make sure there's a lot of other streamers going on right now. Make sure you check them out. I know Sean was streaming earlier. Sean Urban. He's a great streamer. He just reached 1K subscribers. So if you haven't checked out Sean Urban's site yet, make sure you check him out. And everybody have a great day.